been, Mr. Taffler? You have been really hard to find.
I'm fine, thank you. I'm getting on in years. I'm going to be 94 years old.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
So let's start the interview with a brief introduction. I will
Okay.
introduce myself. I'm Said, and I'm doing this project with Katie. Currently, I'm a student at Berea College, and I'm planning to double major in computer science and economics. Then I think you should go ahead.
Okay.
With the introduction, just a brief, something brief about you.
1 second, I got to make the sound a little louder. Oh boy.
It's a car is by. It's past.
All right, I don't know where. Okay, I wanted to make the sound a little louder, but I'm okay.
You can see on the top part of your keyboard, F3. I don't know if your laptop is Dell.
Which is the sound.
Oh, wait a second. Let me go up here. All right, it's complicated. Okay, let's do it now. I can hear you.
You can hear me clearly, right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
It would be better if it was a little louder, but it's okay.
So go ahead with your introduction. Just a brief introduction about yourself. Something brief, a brief introduction about yourself.
I know your profession.
You want to know a brief introduction about me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 94 years old. I was born in New York City.
All right.
I lived in New York City most of my life. And I know New York City very well. I came to Berea 4.5 years ago because I'm getting aged.
Yeah.
And my daughter, who works for Berea College, thought it would be a good idea if we moved here, because if we were ill in New York City and we needed help, she couldn't fly back and forth to help us.
Yeah.
So we moved down here. And we're here 4.5 years in Berea, which is a totally different atmosphere than where we lived in New York.
Are you liking it so far, Berea?
It's very difficult to get used to. And I can explain that later when we talk about Berea Home Village.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult change.
Yeah, I do understand. So your daughter works here at Berea College, right? Your daughter.
I'm sorry?
Your daughter, she works here at Berea College, right?
Friends.
I'm saying your daughter.
Am I?
Daughter. Okay, never mind. Let's go ahead with another question.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Sometimes it's difficult for me to understand your accent. You probably find it difficult to understand me from New York.
I get it. So let's start with the first personal question. Who are you named after?
I am named after after a physician that my parents knew, and they named me after him. That's my first name was named after him. The family name is from my mother and father.
Yeah.
However, I had a nickname that people called me by, and that nickname was Sy, S-Y. And they called me Sy because when I was 5 or 6 years old, I wore glasses, which I still wear till this day. And there was a one-eyed giant by the name of Cyclops in the movie, and there was a one-eyed giant with one eye in the middle of his forehead. And the children used to make fun of me because I wore glasses, so they called me Sy,
Yeah.
like Cyclops. And my mother started calling me Sy, and everybody since then started calling me Sy, and everybody knows me by that name, Sy. But that is not my real first name. My real first name is Seymour.
Simo. Wow, that's so nice to know. So until now, people call you Sy?
People have been calling me Sy for 90 years.
Wow. Awesome.
Most of them don't even know why. They think that's my real name, but
Yeah.
it's not. That was, the kids made fun of me.
Mhm. And you did accept it. You did accept the name.
Yeah, well, everybody calls me that. And,
Yeah. What makes you happy?
what makes me happy?
Mhm.
At different times, different things make people happy.
All right.
At this point in my life, being well, enjoying the camaraderie of my friends, having a good meal, talking, joking, going out and doing things. However, as I'll explain, when we talk about Berea Village, by virtue of my age and
Yeah.
my health condition, that's not possible anymore.
Yeah.
Because I have a congenital heart condition, and I can't get up and around and do the things that I used to do.
Yeah.
So that's no longer possible. But what did make me happy was the times I can get together and do things and go places with my friends and associates and so on.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. If you could tell me one of your funniest memory.
One of my funniest memories, uh, years ago, I was living, of course, with my family. I was about 8 or 9 years old, and we were sitting in a very tiny apartment in Brooklyn. And my father was telling a joke, and he slammed his hand down on the table to emphasize the joke, and some food that was on the table actually flew up and stuck on the ceiling.
Wow.
And we thought that was very, of course, he slammed his hand down hard, and we
Yeah.
thought that was very funny, and we were laughing. Until this day, it remains a funny thing.
Yeah, that was actually funny. Uh-huh. What is the lesson in life that you wish to share with young people?
The lesson in life that I wish to share with anybody, and I mean this sincerely,
Yeah.
is to try to have as elastic a personality and being as you are. Life puts you down, it raises you up, it knocks you down again, it turns you in all directions. And you can't let any single thing knock you down so that you can't get up again. You have to be elastic enough to enjoy different people, different cultures, different foods, different places to live, different kinds of music. You have to be elastic in your life, because if you're not, if you're too rigid, it's not good. It's not good for your health and for yourself.
Yeah.
So the best thing I could say is, and especially if we talk about Berea Village, I have something to say about that.
Yeah. Mr. Staffler, I have just a question that just came up. You talk about meeting different people, different food. Have you traveled?
I have traveled almost all over the world.
Mhm.
My wife, I was a construction worker in New York. I got paid hourly.
Yeah.
I was not a rich man. I
Yeah.
worked by the hour, and if I didn't work, I didn't get paid.
Yeah.
My wife was a school teacher,
Yeah.
and the two of us come from immigrant families. We're
Yeah.
the first generation in the United States,
Yeah.
and we came from immigrant families. But we decided we'd like to travel,
Yeah.
and we saved our money. We lived frugally,
Yeah.
but we traveled all over.
Yeah.
And by virtue of history, my family came from Russia. My wife's family came from Poland. And with all the world wars and everything that went on, the families dispersed. They had to get out of Europe. So they went to various places. And we had relatives in many parts of the world. Yeah, we have been to all of the major European countries. We've always traveled very cheaply.
Yeah.
We've always traveled very cheaply. Years ago, the teachers would get, because they were off during the summers, they would get very cheap flights. And we saved our money. I never had a big car. We never had a big expensive house. But we saved money to travel. And one of the best experiences we ever had in our lives, one year we needed a camper, we needed a car. My wife, I needed a car to go to work, and my wife needed a car to go to work. We worked in different places. And I needed a car, and because my old car was not good,
Yeah.
I ordered a Volkswagen camper bus. I had it delivered in Amsterdam. We flew to Amsterdam, the family, myself, my wife, and two children, my daughter and my son. And we picked up the camper bus in Amsterdam and we traveled throughout Europe.
Yeah.
And we made a circular trip, and we came back to Amsterdam and shipped the Volkswagen camper bus home, and we flew home.
Yeah.
And of course, we used the camper bus for transportation wherever we went, and we camped out in campgrounds. That was one of the best things we ever did in our lives.
Yeah.
We were in the Netherlands, we were in France, we were in Spain, we were in Italy, we were in Venice, we were in Yugoslavia, we were in Paris. We went all over. And then independently, my wife and I traveled to South Africa, to North Africa, to Morocco, to Australia, to Central America. We traveled all over. And that's the highlight of our exhibit. But we never had fancy furniture, fancy clothes, fancy cars. We drove little Volkswagens. We saved wherever we could, but we enjoyed traveling.
Awesome. Awesome. That was really, you really lived a good life.
We were in Morocco. We were in Egypt. We were in Australia. We were in South Africa. We were in Mexico, Costa Rica, Colombia. We traveled all over the world. Where are you from, Salim?
I'm from Kenya.
From Kenya.
Yeah, East Africa.
Yeah, we were in, we were in Morocco, we were in Egypt, we were in South Africa, we were in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
We never got to Kenya.
Yeah, just some few countries to Kenya, yeah, almost. So the last personal question is, tell me, if you could go back to any age, what will it be and why?
I have enjoyed many things at many ages.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult to say.
Yeah.
Because as one grows, hopefully their intellect grows.
Yeah.
Their quality of life grows. Your friends change.
Yeah.
The stupid things I did as a little kid, were funny then, but since I have grown up and learned more about life and things and traveled, I think about things in a different way.
Yeah.
So at different ages, different things are important to me. And I must say, looking back now, the most important thing is when you're really healthy, then you can enjoy, really enjoy things. If you're not healthy, no matter what you do, it always isn't with full enjoyment if you're not
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Let's talk about Berea home village.
I just want to, I wanted, okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, you, you asked me about some jokes and I had some prepared.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did.
Are you a science person?
Yeah, I'm doing, yeah, I'm science, computer science.
You're a science person, okay. Why don't scientists trust atoms?
Trust who?
Trust Adams.
Why don't scientists trust atoms? They don't trust atoms because atoms make up everything.
Yeah.
Do you get the joke?
Yeah, I do get the joke.
Everything is made up of atoms.
Yeah.
And scientists don't trust them because atoms make up everything.
Yeah. So they basically don't trust atoms because in everything it is atom is in there.
Atoms make everything up in the universe.
Yeah. So you can't trust
Everything.
it. Yeah.
My shirt, my glasses, my hair, my teeth, my furniture, my car, everything is made up of atoms
Yeah.
in different combinations and so on. I have another joke for you as a scientist.
Yeah.
A photon checks into a hotel.
Yeah.
And the bellboy comes over and says, "Can I carry your luggage?"
Mm-hmm.
And the photon says, "No, I am traveling light."
Yeah.
A photon is a particle of light in the universe. It travels through the universe, through the globe. It travels all over. It's a particle of light, a photon. So when the bellboy said, "Can I carry your luggage?" the photon said, "No, I'm traveling light."
I'm traveling light.
It's a particle of light that travels through the universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get. Yeah, I get the joke. So, Mr. Taffler, you are really interested in science. Did you do like a major that was related to science in the college?
I'm sorry?
I'm saying, did you do a science major back
I
when
never
you were
went to
in
college.
college? Oh, okay.
I only went to high school. I never went to college.
Mm-hmm.
I went to work. Those days, when I was a young man, there was a severe depression. I started to work when I was 10 years, 11 years old. I used to shine shoes. Years ago, everybody wore shoes. Today, everyone wears sneakers. Nobody wears shoes anymore.
Yeah.
But when I was a child, everyone wore shoes. And I used to have a little shine box with a brush and polish, and I would shine shoes and get 5 cents for a shine. And I earned whatever I could. And as I got older, I would deliver orders for a store. I would carry packages home for anyone. I had to try to earn whatever I could because our family, at times we were homeless.
Yeah.
We had no place to stay. So that was important. And I started working, and my wife worked and went to college. My wife went to college at night all the years. But I never went to college. But I love science.
Yeah. That's why I ask, like, you have this particular interest in science. So could we go to Berea Home Village questions, if that's okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you join Berea Home Village?
I'm sorry.
Why did you join Berea Home Village?
Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of a story, a little bit of an analogy.
Mhm.
When a young child grows up, there's an expression that it takes a village to raise a child.
Sure.
You have to watch the child, you have to nurture it, you have to help it to walk, to grow, to eat, to play, to do everything. And as you nurture this child, and everybody in the village helps to nurture this child, everybody in the surroundings, in the neighborhood helps to nurture this child to grow. The child grows, and then the child is on their own. They become adult and
Yeah.
so on. And hopefully all the nurturing help them to become a good, elastic, resilient adult. In old age, it's just the opposite. By the time we get to be, now we're young and so on, by the time we get to be 30 years old, we start to have problems with our teeth. And so by the time we get to be 40 years old, sometimes we need glasses. By the time we get to 60, 70 years old, you don't hear so good. You need hear. As we get older, we start to lose all of our facilities. And as we get older and older, we lose them more and more and more. So that in old age, we need a village to support us, like
Yeah.
Berea Home Village.
Sure.
We need people, sometimes old people can't navigate things.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do the internet. I'm lucky that I know how, but my son and daughter don't live far away and they show me how. But and old people, if they're by themselves, they can get very depressed. Home Village comes and checks on to see if people are all right. If they need help, Home Village helps them with a ride to the doctor's office or any place else. So
Yeah.
as people need more and more help, Berea Home Village serves that purpose very well. There
Yeah.
are some people that are isolated. They can't walk. They can't get out of the house. And the worst thing to do is to be stuck in the house because you get depressed. You keep thinking about your illnesses and why you can't do those things, and it's not good. But Berea Home Village helps people through all kinds of emergencies and all kinds of things, and it checks on them and helps them to age gracefully.
Yeah.
And they have different services that you could rely on, and it's the best thing in the world.
Awesome. How long have you been with Berea Home Village?
Well, since we came here, well, about 3 years or so.
Or 3 years or so.
And every Monday, I happen to be fortunate. And the reason we moved from New York to Berea was because my daughter is with Berea College.
Yeah.
And she could help us. But we joined Berea Home Village, and every Monday, a person from Berea Village calls us. When I needed computer help, I got someone from Berea Village to give me some computer help. And frankly, older people, if you had to get online to get the vaccine or do things with the computer to get information, most old people can't do that. And so Berea Village has people that will help them. And it's the best thing in the world because it provides many services that are necessary to keep old people not just alive and well, but to give them a moderate amount of socialization, which they need.
Awesome. Awesome. So what is the most beneficial thing Berea Home Village has done for you?
The most beneficial thing?
Yeah.
Okay. My wife and I are aged,
Mhm.
and at this point, we need help in the house.
Yeah.
I cannot do gardening. I cannot function. I cannot. Uh, Most of the time, I do very little. I sit on the couch or I come and play a computer game. I cannot function very well because I have congestive heart failure.
Yeah.
My wife is aging too. She has some memory loss and she no longer can cook and prepare meals and do things and so on. The best thing that Berea Village personally did for us was to help us find a person, a health aide to come into the house 3 days a week to help us do the dishes, make the beds, see that we shower and dress properly, clean the house, prepare lunches for us, and do things that we can no longer do for ourselves. And Berea Home Village helped us to find a very wonderful, competent person to do that
Awesome.
because we did not know anybody and they recommended somebody and it turned out to be wonderful.
Wonderful. That was indeed beneficial. If may, what is one thing you love about Berea Home Village seniors?
I love Berea Home Village because of the services they provide
The
for
seniors,
everybody.
Berea Home Village seniors.
The
You know,
students,
seniors, your fellow seniors, volunteers.
oh, the volunteer, there are different volunteers. And
Yeah,
of course, you have many friends
yeah.
and you get along better with some friends than with other friends. Uh, we had some volunteers
No,
that didn't
I
quite
say,
understand our lifestyle or so on. And
yeah,
I spoke to Katie Heckman from Berea Home Village, and we got some other people that were marvelous and I understood our way of life and so on.
yeah.
So that I've only had good experiences with Berea Home Village.
Awesome. Maybe any special message for the Berea Home Village seniors like you?
Uh, I think Berea Home Village is very special. I think uh, most people that are that don't have assistance or help or family nearby could benefit very greatly from Berea Home Village in many ways, in keeping them healthy, in keeping their mind fertile and agile, and not letting them get into depression or into bad feelings and so on, but to keep them vital as long as they can. And Berea Home Village does that very well.
Uh, will you recommend Berea Home Village to other seniors?
Absolutely. Without a doubt. Absolutely.
All right. What message do you have for the donors who want to donate to Berea Home Village?
For people who want to donate,
Yeah,
I think it's a very, Berea Home Village is a very worthwhile cause to donate to. Uh, it helps. Uh, it helps people at the end of their lives, usually in older age,
yeah,
to survive as best they can and live as best they can.
yeah,
And we owe it to the older people to do that because most of the older people have gone through terrible things in their lifetimes, wars, disease, pandemics, starvation, all kinds of terrible things, good things too. But we owe it to the older people that have survived life with all its ups and downs. Life is like a roller coaster, Salim. It goes up and down and up and down. And at this point, most people need all the help they can get. And Berea Home Village does that very well, and people should support it, even if it's not their own relative, just to help these people that made life possible for everybody, that helped.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. That's really a good cause. Maybe if you could tell us how COVID-19 affected you. COVID-19, COVID, the virus.
We got shot. Okay. COVID-19 hasn't, it affected us because it reached, the COVID vaccine affected us because it shut us in. We are shut in by virtue of our age. We can't get up and get on a bus and go to Lexington and visit with friends and eat in a restaurant and so on and so forth, which we used to do. But with the COVID vaccine, we couldn't do that anymore. So it closed us in and we were stuck at home. And when you're stuck at home and you can't go out day after day after day, you start to think about bad things like the illnesses you have and what's going to happen and everything else. People need social interactions. You need to see other people. And the COVID vaccine made it very difficult. We, my wife and I, were fortunate because my daughter and son-in-law live nearby and they would come and visit and so on. And we could visit with them and some of their friends that were vaccinated. But otherwise, it's a terrible thing to be all alone. How would you feel if you were all alone and you didn't have your friends and so on?
It would be really a really bad experience.
Yeah, but I'm sure you're from Kenya, but I'm
Yeah.
sure you have friends that you have made here.
Yeah.
And we all need friends and socialization, and you have to be elastic to do
Yeah.
that. If you came here and you couldn't make friends, you would be very sad.
Yeah, true. I
And
would
that's
be
a
agree.
tribute to you because we have to be young enough to be able to make friends and adapt to different situations.
Totally agree with you. So on the last question is, you said you moved from New York to Berea, right?
Yes.
Are you liking it so far?
Am I?
Liking here at Berea?
It's very, very different. It's very different to get adjusted.
Yeah,
And what I said, when you're sick,
yeah,
do you like to take your medicine that makes you better?
yeah, sometimes.
You don't like to take it,
Yeah,
but you take it
yeah.
because it makes you better.
Mhm.
We would prefer to be back home with friends and people that I know for 40, 50, 60 years,
Yeah,
friends of ours, and do the things that we used to do. But just like you take the medicine to make you better, this is our medicine. We had to move here because we need the help. And all of the friends that we knew and enjoyed in New York, where we used to go to a restaurant and go to a play or go to a concert or go to a museum, all of those people are aged now too. Most of them are dead. And some of them can't even walk anymore or do anything anymore. So that the friends and the comrades that we had years ago are not the way we remember them.
yeah,
They can't do anything. And we needed help, which was our medicine. So we moved here, and my daughter and son-in-law helped us to get the vaccines. They helped us to get doctor's appointments. They helped us to do so many things that makes our life possible, just like you take the medicine to make you better, but you don't like the medicine. I would prefer to be in New York, but the medicine tells me I have to be here.
yeah. Awesome. I agree with that analogy. I agree. Mr. Staffler, any final message as we wrap up the interview?
No, I think I just a message. Berea Home Village is wonderful. And an additional message, I become acquainted because my daughter works for Berea College. The message is that I think Berea College is wonderful because it offers an opportunity for people from all over the world to get an education. Some people may never have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
I would just like to tell you one story, and that will illustrate what I mean.
Yeah.
There's a round little well, about 4 feet in diameter, and it's built with stones all around. And when you lower the pail in, you get the water up.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay. Now, there's a little tadpole in the bottom of that well, and it's swimming around in that well. And little insects and flies and things fall into the well, and the little tadpole eats those things. And it grows into a beautiful frog. And the frog is living in the well, in the bottom of the well.
Yeah.
And the frog is happy and delightful. It's wonderful. One day, Mary comes along to get a pail of water. And she lowers the pail in the well and lifts the pail up, and the frog is in the pail of water. And the frog jumps out and sits on the edge of the well. And the frog looks down into the well and says, "Oh my God, that was my universe. That
Yeah.
was my galaxy. That
Yeah.
was my life. That was everything in the whole world that I know." And then the frog turns around and looks in the other direction and sees color and green and brown, and hears birds singing and smells flowers and sees so many other things that it never knew existed. And
Yeah.
the frog says, "What is this?" Now the frog has to make a decision. Should it jump back into the well where it grew up, was happy and lived and so on? Or should it jump off and go into the new environment that has birds and flowers and colors and songs and other things? And the frog says, maybe there's something out there that could eat me, that could squash me, that could kill me. But on the other hand, look at all the things there are that I never knew existed before. There's smells and light and colors and flowers, and it's a wonderful, wonderful universe.
Yeah.
Now that frog has to make a decision. Should it jump into the well and stay in that darkness where it was comfortable and it grew up all its life? Or should it jump out and try to take advantage of the new universe that it just discovered? That's a challenge.
Yeah.
And everybody has to look at that challenge in a different way. And Berea College offers the students a chance to jump into that other universe
Yeah.
and see what it's all about. And that's why I like Berea College.
Yeah, awesome. Like a student like me, all the way from Kenya, is here studying at Berea College. That's a really good opportunity, you know. Yeah.
Okay. I hope I have been helpful to you.
You have really been helpful, and our interview has been really awesome. Thank you so much.
Are you doing this for a class?
I'm doing for Katie
Oh,
Heckman.
oh, for Katie Hickman. Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing for Katie.
Okay. Okay. 2 years ago, you know Professor Dillon?
Yeah, Pat Dillon. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did some things at Berea College for the students to tell them, okay, this is wonderful. I'm here. As long as I'm here, I'm helpful. I can be helpful. Thank you.
So much. I look forward to meeting you again. Have a good day.
Okay, same to you. Thank you.